Hello there, sea explorers! Welcome to our story today, all about a wild adventure under the big, sparkly blue sea. Get your fins ready, because this is going to be a splash.
Yep, that's me. And oh boy, am I glad you're here. You know, swimming around this big ol' ocean, you see some pretty crazy things. And the story I've got for you today, it's a really big one. Okay, so before we dive into the main story, I've just got to tell you about my own little adventure. It's my very own great shark escape. And trust me, it was a little scary, but also, pretty funny. See, living in the ocean is mostly fantastic. But there are some big, grumpy bullies we have to look out for. We call them the Shark Gang. And whenever those guys show up with their big, toothy grins, whoosh, every little fish zips away as fast as they can. So there I was, tucked into this super comfy, squishy sea anemone. I thought, I'm totally safe here. But I wasn't. The Shark Gang swam right up, and one of them shouted, "Ooh, look what we have here, a perfect little snack." My heart was beating so fast. They got closer and closer. I could see all their pointy teeth. My fins were shaking like crazy. So what do you think happened? Did they get me? No way! Not a chance. Right when they were about to chomp, they saw something else shiny and wiggly swimming by. A bigger fish, they all thought. But guess what? It was just a silly plastic toy fish on a hook. Bunk! They bumped their noses right into it. Ouch! Heh, silly sharks. And that's when I zoomed away. Phew, so that was my close call. But now it's time for the really big story I wanted to tell you. It all happened not too far away, inside an old sunken ship where a sweet little family of redfish lived. And this, my friends, is where the sharks decided to get super sneaky. So one morning, Mommy Fish needed to go out and gather some yummy seaweed for lunch. But before she swam off, she gathered her 3 little babies close and gave them the most important rule in the whole ocean. She knew those tricky sharks might be lurking about, and she wanted her family to be safe. And oh boy, you won't believe what the boss shark was up to. He thought he was so smart. He didn't just try to smash the door down, no way. He came up with a whole sneaky-peeky plan. First, he painted himself red. Then, he used some moss to hide that big old shark fin. And for the final touch, he brought their favorite snack, moss cookies. Wow, what a trickster! All right, so the trap was set. With his silly costume on, the shark swam right up to the little fish's home. And, knock, 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 he tapped on their door. And then, trying to make his voice sound all high and friendly, not like a big shark at all, he called out, "Hello, I'm just a friendly redfish selling delicious moss cookies." Cookies! You can imagine how excited 2 of the brothers got. But the third little fish remembered. He said, "Wait a minute, Mommy told us not to talk to strangers." So his brother swam up to a tiny little peephole in the door to take a look. What do you think he saw out there? Well, all he could see was something red holding a plate of cookies. He got so excited he shouted, "It's okay, it's not a stranger, it's another redfish just like us." And, oh no, they opened the door. The shark tricked them and scooped them right up. But wait, the one little fish who remembered his mom's rule was quick. He managed to hide and then, poof, he swam away. And rescue was on the way. That brave little fish swam faster than he had ever swum before. He knew he had to find his mommy, and he had to find her right away. While he was searching, his 2 poor brothers were trapped with the Shark Gang. Oh, they must have been so scared and just wishing their mom was there. So when the little fish finally found his mom and told her everything, she was of course very worried. But she didn't panic. She was a very smart mommy. She knew trying to fight a whole gang of sharks by herself wasn't a good idea. So she did the smartest thing you can do. She went to get help. And who do you think was her biggest, bestest friend? Willie the whale. Willie is just the biggest and kindest creature in the entire ocean. And when he heard what happened, of course he said he would help. And just look at this rescue team. Mommy Fish, the brave little fish, and the gigantic Willie the whale. The sharks had no idea what was coming.
When Willie found them, he opened his mouth so wide it looked like a giant cave. The sharks were terrified. They promised they would never, ever, ever bother little fish again. Willie let them go, and the two little red fish were finally saved.
The whole family was back together, safe and sound. What a big adventure. And every big adventure teaches us a few things. So let's think about what we learned today. Okay, so here are the super important takeaways. Number 1, always, always listen to your parents. They really do know best. Number 2, never, ever talk to strangers, even if they have yummy cookies. Number 3, asking a grown-up for help is a super brave thing to do. And finally, number 4, when we work together as a team, we are super strong. It really gets you thinking, right? Sharks are big, and yeah, they have pointy teeth. But we can be smarter. We can be cleverer. So after everything we've seen, what do you think is the absolute best way to be cleverer than a shark?
It's actually pretty simple. It's by being a really good listener and by always choosing to be safe. That's what makes you the cleverest fish in the whole ocean. Well, thanks for swimming by and listening to my tale. Stay safe out there. Bye-bye, friends.